Hello and welcome to another video. I know it's been quite a long time since I made my last video and here we are. This won't be a video about how I got the platinum for the new Mafia game, but rather a sort of review of my overall experience with the game and whether you should play it, maybe wait out a bit for a sale, or even try to platinum it. I'll be dividing my review in different sections, namely gameplay, story, presentation, and getting that platinum. So without a further ado, let's get started. The core gameplay loop revolves mostly around uncovering the story and the world while going from point A to point B and taking out your enemies via a stealthier approach or by simply shooting them down. The shooting felt really nice and follows the cover shoot system while having the ability to run and gun. I like the stealth present in the game, which is mostly kept optional. We can throw these bottles or coins like in Hitman to distract guards and can take them out silently using our knives or by choking them from behind. I really like the button mash prompt while choking, as the enemies have this meter and they can get out in between if you aren't really quick. Also, I noticed some enemies have a bigger meter, which I think is cool and made the situations more dynamic. The knife takedowns are really cool as well, as we can use one of the three knife types. One for normal cases, one for one hit takedowns, and the final one for the knife throws. Also, every knife has a durability bar, so you can't spam them. A new welcomed addition to the combat is the new knife fight mechanic, which sort of reminded me of the combat from Mafia 2. While on paper, I really liked the concept of this knife fight, but I just felt that the knife slashes and thrust don't pack a punch. Like, it can feel a bit cheap at times. I don't know what it is, maybe the really slow animation response on hit, the sound, or the lackluster feedback vibration, but I always felt like it's missing something. Driving is really great and I think a strong suit of all the Mafia games. Also, if you aren't really a huge fan of it, you can always skip it during the missions, which I think is a great quality of life improvement. The game also has a new charm system. Every charm gives you a different gameplay ability, such as a bit extra health, more ammo, and so on. Again, a really nice concept, but I rarely interacted with it and just completed the game on the hard difficulty while just having the first charm I got equipped. Other than this, the game has a fuckload of collectibles, but more on that in the trophy section. Overall, the gameplay is pretty solid with minor ifs and buts, mostly to do with animation. Let's move on to the... Well, the story is the biggest selling point of all the Mafia games, and this one has definitely kept it up with a new engaging story from the past. You play as Enzo Favara, who starts his life as a mine worker but somehow down the line ends up getting involved with the Torrisi crime family. The story therefore recounts how Enzo starts from the bottom to then becoming the top dog. I really liked the world as it felt very rich and interesting. Also, if you're a fan of the old Mafia games, especially Mafia 2, which is one of my favorite of all time, you're in for a treat. The story isn't too complex or anything and is hella predictable, but I still really enjoyed it as the characters, dialogues, and the script are really well written. If you want to get the game just to follow the story, I would say absolutely go for it. Even though most Unreal Engine 5 games look more and more similar thanks to chasing that realism, I felt the world looks really gorgeous. I was playing the game on PS5's performance mode, so the facial textures looked a bit dull from time to time. The cinematic cutscenes looked really good, and I think that is where the game really shines from that graphical standpoint, at least for me. I know I already mentioned it earlier with the knife fight, but at times the gameplay animations really felt a bit bland. However, at times I found myself to be surprised by some unique animations which were quite cool in contrast to the rest. There was also a lot of attention to details, like whenever your car's engine breaks down, you can fix it with a crank that is in the front of the hood. Overall, I would say it's a bit of a mixed bag in terms of animations. In terms of performance, it was mostly good. However, it was really sad to see the game drop significantly in frames, especially when you're exploring the cities. The game also had a few bugs like minor audio issues, NPCs blocking the path, etc. I also noticed whenever you hide a body in a box, box, it just disappears right away and you can basically pack a bajillion guys in the same box. From a completion time standpoint, the game's pretty short and will take around 10ish hours. After completing it, we can replay any chapter and can also go into an explore mode where we can just drive and collect stuff. Talking about collecting stuff, let's move on to the trophy section. Overall, the trophies are pretty easy and I think the hard mode wasn't difficult at all. I must have died like 4 to 5 times in total, that too in the very last missions. Most stealth related trophies came naturally as I always opted for stealth when going through the missions. The hardest trophies in my opinion were the Mystery Fox Domination and the Collector. Both of them are about collecting stuff and boy, it can be hella grindy and boring. Like honestly, just going after that platinum left a bittersweet taste in my mouth. I really enjoyed the game generally, but that grind in the end truly killed my mood. I really hate trophies locked behind collecting stuff, especially when it doesn't add anything to the gameplay. Sure, the fox statues get you this doggy dog outfit, but was it worth it? I would say nah. So yeah, I don't really think I'll replay this game again for some time, but overall the game is really good with a nice gameplay loop and interesting story. I just think they could have taken it one step further by adding some more side missions or activities around the world just to add that extra replayability and completion time, especially since a lot of places in the world look really good but are left completely unused. You can only see these sections while doing the collectibles grind, which is sad, and it made me think every single time how cool would a shootout or a stealth section be in this area. Like they could have done some simple one-off killing contracts to make some extra money, or maybe even add some more races or like a gambling sort of mini game. Well, that was my after platinum review for Mafia the Old Country. Let me know if you played it, if you liked it as much as I did, and let me know of any suggestions on which game I should make a video about next. With that said, I'm out. See you next time.